Today we are showing you the Max Smasher that we have all been waiting for with the treads beside it.
So check it out, guys. This is the camouflage mod from FMS. When we got this thing in the box, it looked like it was going to be another one of the High Roller Edition Smashers, but it's not. We're going to open this thing up and see what it is.
Where did we open it?
Well, Axel's getting into the box. I'll tell you about this. This is a mod from FMS. They've been doing great stuff over there with their mods. This one's no different. Look at that.
This is the Max Smasher.
Yes, this is the camo mod Smasher. It comes in this really cool, dirty camo looking body. Also has the distressed tires and everything. Axles have been painted, lightly painted too. Same with the steering links. The bumpers are rusted up, as is the roll cage. Very, very cool. They do a great job with their custom paint. So this does come ready to run just like the previous Smashers. You get your charger, your toolkit. You get your plastic lockers here. It comes with the open diffs, but you have the lockers you can put in there if you want to lock them up. Comes with graphics, little stickers. If you did want to put stickers on this camo body, I don't think we want to put stickers on it, do we, buddy? You get the multifunctional 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. Taking the body off, this is the familiar FCX24 Smasher that we're used to. Comes with the 2S LiPo battery, 2-speed transmission, 130 brushed motor, ready to rock and roll. So this mod comes in 3 different options. You can buy the truck itself in this format here, ready to run with the camo mod already installed. You can buy the body separately, just the body, which we actually did, right? We've got another one on your other Smasher. Or you can totally deck this thing out and get it with the brand new Batrazzi tracks, which is what we have here. So we are going to put these tracks on here today, right?
Yeah. We are going to put them on.
So this is going to be a fun one. The tracks look awesome. So let's open them up. We're going to take a look at the tracks and then we're going to put them on the build and get to running this thing. Okay, so if the truck wasn't cool enough, we're going to put these upgrades on it. Let's take a look at what we got. Open that up, big guy. The kit comes with 2 individual boxes that has the tracks in it. You get some cool Batrazzi stickers. Have an instruction manual. There is a little bit of assembly required on here. Now these tracks are also in the camo paint scheme, so they're kind of distressed looking. They have like a muddy finish to them. They match this mod specifically. I think you can get the tracks in just a black finish if you didn't want the distressed kind of dirty look. Comes with a little bit of hardware, so these bolt onto the portal covers here, which I'll show you guys in a minute when we install these. Now FMS does recommend that you get an upgraded motor. So we've got the upgraded 32-turn 10,000 RPM motor here, and it also recommends a heat sink here, just to help dissipate the heat and give this thing a little more grunt to turn these tracks, because if you've never run tracks on a build before, they use a lot of power and put a lot of stress on the drivetrain. So that's why when we do this install, we're going to put the new motor in at the same time, and we'll put the tracks on, and we should be good to go. Okay, so I did a couple of these to figure out how to do it. Now I'm in a good position to show you guys exactly how it's done. So the first thing that you do is you take these pre-assembled tracks and you completely take them apart. So you're going to take this screw out of the middle here. You're also going to take one of these pins out to take your track apart. This is actually step 1. Just like that. Set your track aside right there. Now with the track off, you can take this center wheel off. This is what's going to go on your hex. The wheel nut that you need is inside this arm right here. So you're going to take this, we're going to thread it on the axle stub. But before you do that, we need to put our brackets on here. Remove these lower 2 portal cover bolts. This is where you're going to put your numbered support piece here. So let's see, now we're on the passenger side. Front is number 3 here. So let's go right there. Now with the lower supports on here, now we're going to put the wheel on right there, and the supplied wheel nut that's inside the track arm, just like that. Now we're going to put the track assembly back on. We're just going to set it on here for right now. And then we're going to take these supplied bolts and these collars. And these are actually going to go through the bottom of the track into those support pieces. They're going to keep your tracks from swaying back and forth. So these are kind of like anchor bolts so that things don't move around on you.
A little bit.
Right, that's on there. Now we're going to wrap our track back around this. Alright, so I'm going to squeeze this together and Axel's going to put that pin in. Can't see. Good. There it is. So that's 3. Uh-oh, we lost a tire. There's 3 right there. So we'll do this last one and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. So the kit went on really well. Once I did a couple of these and got them assembled, it was a breeze. I did install them backwards to begin with. So as you can see, you want the pointy end of the rear pointing forward to match the front. I had the rears reversed last time. So this is the proper way to have them installed. And then once on there, I also realized really quickly that it definitely needs to have the lock differentials. While it will move and drive around on pretty easy flat surfaces with the open diffs, coming up against any obstacle, it really needed those lock diffs to perform as best as it can. So now you can see I got the lock diffs in here. They work really well. So that's in low speed. It is capable of running it in second gear and high gear. You do sacrifice wheel speed because these tracks do suck a lot of power. I am glad that we got that Batrazzi upgraded motor. You're definitely going to want a motor upgrade. And even so, this thing puts out a lot of heat driving it around. I did put the heat sink on there that comes with it. That just snaps on this motor right here. But even so, when you pick this thing up after running it, you can feel the heat radiating even through the body. So it does put out a lot of heat. I think a good upgrade for this down the road would be a brushless upgrade. If you were to put the FuryTech system in here, you'd have no troubles whatsoever. But running it on the Batrazzi motor seems to be totally fine. It maintains that nice slow crawl. The motor is a little noisy, as is the ESC, but that's just the nature of the beast here. But looks fantastic with the camo body. Look at the massive ground clearance on this thing in the front and in the center. Very, very cool.
So it's been about 2 months since we started that video. And the reason why it's taken me so long to complete it is because I really have been waiting for some snow to fall here in New England. I didn't think I'd have to wait 2 months deep into February before we got an opportunity to try this thing out in the snow. I did try it out in a couple different scenarios. We put it in the mud, in some water, a little bit of snow that we had. Also on the beach. Here in Cape Cod, we get a lot more sand than we do snow. So I did take it out on the beach a couple times. But this past week, we finally got a good dumping of snow here on Cape Cod. And now it's time to take this thing out and play in it. So let's go see how it does. So I think the snow is definitely where these things shine. After trying them in the mud and in sand, I found that they would get bound up pretty easily. I had to stop and clean them out quite often, but in the snow they did really well. Even then though, I did find myself having to stop and clear out the insides of the tracks pretty frequently. It would start to bind up and wouldn't want to move, but we were running it in really heavy sticky snow and it was getting stuck inside the tracks there. As long as the tracks stayed clean inside there were no issues whatsoever. It floated along over the snow. Really cool. Was able to climb up and over the outdoor course, which is snow covered right now. It's a little difficult in second gear. I found myself using low gear for the most part. That brushed motor seemed like it was just struggling to turn these things in the high gear when they were coming up against any resistance in the heavy snow. But in low gear, it just trucked right along just like a tank. And with the massive ground clearance from this thing, I was able to get up and over some pretty gnarly snow drifts and holes and things like that because it's got so much ground clearance in the middle. So this was a fun project. Tracks are tricky on these little trucks. They're pretty finicky, but these ones worked pretty well. The camo Smasher mod is still available from Fair RC. I'll put the link in the description down below. And remember, you do have the 3 options. There's the body itself, there's the Smasher mod with the monster truck tires, and then there's the fully loaded one with the tracks and everything like what we have here. And let me know your thoughts down below. Have you run tracks on any of your rigs? What's your thoughts on them? And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.